me out that I'm going to have to do something with it, but we got to pay it off. And he's not talking to me about it. So I think I'm going to have to lawyer up. I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him.
Mm-hmm. And you need to definitely get a lawyer involved.
Part of it is I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Kody's property. Like, we're not legally married. It's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person. No, it's really complicated.
I've got some news that might just blow your mind. Coyote Pass is officially off the table. As of yesterday, that land, which has been the center of drama for what feels like forever, seriously, since 2018 and 7 seasons of Sister Wives, is no longer theirs. Remember all those dreams they had about building a cul-de-sac and reuniting the family? Well, it looks like that's all in the past now. They've sold the property, and get this, it wasn't even listed on the market. I usually break these kinds of stories, but this time, Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Meri managed to find a buyer for Coyote Pass. The buyer scooped up all 4 parcels in one go, and the price? Let's just say it's significantly higher than what they originally paid for it a few years back. The ladies, who were worried about being left in the lurch by Kody, are set to walk away with a nice chunk of change, though probably not as much as I initially thought. So what does this mean? Well, for starters, Coyote Pass is officially sold. Kody and Robyn won't be building that compound they had in mind, and Meri and Janelle are completely free from any ties to Flagstaff. Oh, and here's a little tidbit. On March 26th, Robyn Brown finally signed all the paperwork for Coyote Pass, effectively splitting the property 4 ways. It seems like Kody and Robyn are walking away with a hefty 50% share together, even though they were only supposed to get 25%. Some folks aren't too happy about this, feeling that Kody and Robyn should be treated as one unit, and honestly, I can see both sides of the argument. I'm a bit torn myself. Personally, I think the split should have been a third each, especially since Robyn doesn't have a job outside of this situation. Janelle and Meri are both working, and I get the impression they might have contributed more. We often hear that Robyn just spends money without really pitching in. So, the breakdown is that Robyn gets a 1/4, Janelle gets a 1/4, and Meri gets a 1/4. But hey, at least it's better than the 2 acres that were initially offered to Meri. Remember that moment when Meri and Kody were at the picnic table, and he said he'd give her 2 acres? Then Robyn chimed in, saying she needed 4 acres for her kids, claiming they needed that much for an estate to pass down. Honestly, whenever these folks start talking about property or equity as if it's an inheritance, I just roll my eyes because they never stick around long enough for it to actually become one. It took them about 4 years to finally agree on how to divide Coyote Pass, and of course, there was plenty of drama about whether it would even get paid off. Once it was settled in 2023, they sat on it for 2 whole years. It wasn't until they had to threaten with lawyers that things finally started moving. The lawyers got involved, the property was divided, and everything was officially documented on March 26th. You know, despite everything, there wasn't a single public listing for this property. Over the weekend, I got a message from Sarah Frazier, who mentioned there were signs out by a parcel near Coyote Pass. But here's the kicker. The address on the sign didn't match the Browns' property, which led to some confusion about whose place was actually for sale. It seems like this property was sold on the private market. They probably had an agent looking for a cash buyer with high equity who's interested in investment properties. Some realtors who specialize in this kind of deal can keep their listings off the public radar to avoid the scrutiny that comes with high-profile clients selling their homes. I'm guessing that after what happened with Kody and Robyn's house when they listed it publicly last time, remember how bloggers showed up wanting to tour the place? They probably wanted to steer clear of that kind of attention. So they found a private buyer, and the sale was recorded yesterday. The buyers are from Scottsdale, which is just a couple of hours away, and it sounds like they're planning to do something with the property. They've split it into 10 parcels and they paid cash, putting down a whopping $1.5 million. It's crazy because Kody and Robyn's McMansion also had a cash buyer. Seriously, who are these people with millions to drop on property in Arizona? I want to be friends with them. Oh, and just so you know, when the sale went through, Meri and Janelle didn't even have to be in the same room as Kody and Robyn. They signed remotely, so they weren't there when the deal was finalized. It seems like the sale was dated April 8th and notarized on April 9th for some of them. Then Meri signed on the 11th, while Janelle signed on the 10th. So, everything's officially recorded now. They no longer own Coyote Pass, and the dream of the compound is officially over with a cash sale of $1.5 million. This means each of them will get $375,000. However, that doesn't factor in the fees they'll have to cover for seller costs, real estate agents, and whatever percentage the agents and buyers take. They'll walk away with the remaining amount, which is actually a lot more than they were initially supposed to get. Kody and Robyn were trying to take advantage of them and run off with Coyote Pass. While it's frustrating that the division isn't exactly equal at 33% each, at least it's more than what Meri was originally proposed to receive for her 2 acres. So what does this mean? It means that the storyline surrounding Coyote Pass, which we'll be watching when the show returns, is going to be pretty dull since we already know how it all plays out. This is a recurring issue with Sister Wives, and it's one of the reasons many of you have stopped watching. They create storylines and then the real events unfold, often before they can reveal them on the show. Remember when Christine was moving? We saw her house listed and thought, wait a minute, what's going on? Why is she selling her house? Did Christine leave? That sparked a lot of chatter, and it forced them to announce her departure sooner than planned. The same thing happened when detect AI-generated content and give it a human touch with our AI content detector. Just paste your text and get quick, accurate results that feel genuine. Here's the text to analyze. So, the house sold and it happened way before it even made it to the seasons. Here we are, it's April 15th, 2024, and we're gearing up to watch them argue about the property from last year when the show returns on Sunday. Honestly, it's going to feel pretty anticlimactic. I think that's part of why so many people have tuned out of Sister Wives. The whole anticlimactic vibe just doesn't do it for them anymore. Plus, now that the mystery and intrigue have faded, Kody and Robyn can't really pull one over on everyone. They might get away with some things, but we're still left wondering about their house situation. Did Janelle and Meri ever get the money they were owed for the down payment? Did they even see any of that cash? I have some serious questions here. And speaking of questions, now that the house is sold and Kody has a bit of cash in his pocket, how many dolls is Robyn planning to buy with that $750,000? That's a whole lot of dolls and doll clothes. Is he going to splurge on more ATVs or maybe invest in more stuff for his compound? Will he finally try to pay off that mortgage? We all know that when Kody gets money, he spends it faster than he can earn it, so I bet that cash will vanish in no time. Then there's the big question. What's the storyline going to look like after season 19? Remember how on Little People Big World the family started to drift apart? Matt and Amy had their split, and while they were joint owners of the farm, Matt eventually bought Amy out. She moved on, got married, and the kids began to leave the show. It ended up being just Zach and Tori left. Then there was all that drama about whether Jeremy would buy part of the farm, and Zach even tried to make an offer. So, things really fell apart, didn't they? When the whole stalemate over the property happened, Zach and Tori decided to move to the other side of the border in Washington state. And honestly, that's when the show started to lose its spark. A lot of these reality shows tend to fizzle out when the families run out of drama to keep viewers hooked. Let's be real. After the whole Coyote Pass conversation wraps up, it's going to feel pretty anticlimactic for many of you. What's the storyline going to be? Are we looking at 4 separate storylines now? I keep thinking about the folks who originally tuned in. They signed up for a show about polygamy, wanting to see how a man juggles 4 wives and how the women navigate that dynamic. But now we're left with a family that's been torn apart by polygamy, reality TV fame, and a bit of greed. Now it feels like we have 4 separate families just doing their own thing. Take Meri, for instance. She's on this incredible revenge tour, and I'm here for it. Go Meri, it's your time to shine. Then there's Janelle, who's in North Carolina with Madison and Caleb, working on Tata Farms, which we still don't know much about. Christine and David are in Utah now, managing a couple of heirlooms. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn are still in Flagstaff, but the only kids around are Gwendolyn and Beat Rick, and they don't really see Kody and Robyn. Filming is going to be all over the place. Janelle in North Carolina, Meri in southern Utah, and Christine and David up north. It's a whole new setup. I feel like they really got shortchanged, only walking away with $375,000. It makes me sad because I remember Janelle mentioning that this was her nest egg. After all those years of hard work for Kody, I think both she and Meri deserve to walk away with more. It just feels so unfair that they're only getting a quarter of Coyote Pass. And honestly, I can't stand that Robyn got her hands on that money. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching everyone. Bye.